Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back once again to Fat Cat Collections. Today, kind of a product or category of products I haven't reviewed in a while is another fragrance. And you guys, you know, a lot of times when people subscribe to the channel, they subscribe for different reasons. Some people like my watch discussion videos. Other people like my how-tos. Other times it's for the fragrances, and other times for the watches and smart home tech. I mean, I like to share really anything that I get my hands on or I like to talk about. So I am a huge fragrance collector. It's probably one of the things I collect most of, next to watches. Leather jackets is a close second there. Nothing, for me, nothing feels better than getting a new fragrance and just smelling good and unique. And you know, the thing is, there's so many people in the world wearing fragrances that a lot of times, in order to smell really unique, you have to get things that are really kind of outside the box, kind of niche, where you start looking at things like Zoologist and you know, those other crazy brands out there. But I think that there's a time and a place for all different types of fragrances. Now, you may be a guy who has one or two fragrances and you're good with that. Some people like to wear their signature scent, that anytime somebody smells them, they want to be, you know, try to be very well known for that fragrance. When I was younger, I was kind of in my 19, 20, I wore Perriel's 360. I still wear Perriel's 360. It is one of my favorite colognes, but I can't really say it's my favorite, like my absolute favorite, or even my top 10. There's so many great fragrances nowadays, and so many fragrances that are so cheap nowadays. You know, it always comes down to, and this is what I love about the fragrance community. I know there are trolls or knuckleheads in every category, but I do feel kind of happy about the fact, from at least my experience, is that a lot of times when guys review fragrances, they just either like them or they don't. They don't really insult, at least in my experience, the person wearing them. And you guys know that when people wear like an Invicta or a brand they don't like, Pagani, you know, you'll have some YouTubers who are Rolex snobs or Omega snobs or whatever, luxury brand snobs. They're like, oh, you know, this brand's garbage, this brand's a shitter. And you don't really, I don't feel like you get that in fragrances. It's either like, hey, it's a you know, inexpensive brand, it's a cheapie but a goodie. And I wish that that kind of terminology, a cheapie but a goodie, was used in watch collecting as well. It's just not. I don't know why. There's just a real snobbery when it comes to watch collecting. But fragrances, people love a deal. And a lot of guys who like, you know, your Creeds, your Tom Fords, you know, they still like their cheapies. And one guy I always mention when I do a review, he's one of my favorites, is Redolessence. I mean, the guy, the way that he carries himself, the way that he explains the fragrances, the nose behind, you know, his personality is just fantastic. And I try to learn something from him in the way that he handles having a successful YouTube channel. You know, he's definitely a guy who takes the high road. You know, I'm more greasy. I'm down and dirty. I get down. You know, like I'm in the grease. So, you know, it is what it is. But I do feel, again, when I do a fragrance review, I always tell you guys that I don't have their nose. All I can tell you is give you guys my honest opinion about a fragrance and what I think of it. And of all the fragrances I have reviewed and that I own, hundreds, you know, I've only had like one or two that I absolutely can't stand. And the one was Cigar 25th Anniversary by Remy Latour. I don't know what it is about it. There's something about it. I cannot wear it. But with that being said, all the other ones, even some of the super bold ones, I just don't feel that way about. So the fragrance I want to share with you guys today is one that has been reviewed by many people. I just want to give you guys my 2 cents on it. I don't think that this video is going to be some viral, game-changing video, but if you're out there looking for fragrances and you've watched me for a while and you're looking to add one to your collection, I want to share this one. Now, this has been on my radar for a while, and you know, I shouldn't be spending money on shit like this, but you know, with the whole COVID thing and everything going on in the world. But I love fragrances. What can I say? So getting a new one, just it's a lot of fun for me. So the fragrance today is this bad boy right here. And this is, I'm going to try to do it like some of the other guys, the real classy folk. Ferragamo. I can't roll my tongue. You know, I'm not gonna. I like to keep some things private, and some of you know who I am. Some of you guys know, you know, more about me. But you know, I can barely speak English correctly, right? I can't roll my tongue. You know, I mean, when it comes down to speaking a certain way, I just give you guys raw, unedited, honest. So that's what you're going to get. So anyway, Ferragamo F Black, right? It's been around for a very long time. And this is what I call a cheapie. If you look around and go into one of your big box stores, yeah, it's great to be, in the day we could do that, right? Go into one of your big box stores and sample fragrances and be harassed by the girl behind the counter. I always try to sneak up covert, get a little spray. I do like Sephora. They're pretty nice because they don't really bother you. They encourage you. Whereas like some of the other places like Macy's, it's like, man, you gotta kind of like stick and move when it comes to trying to, not be harassed. I remember one lady was actually, she would not put the fragrances out because she wanted to like help you. But anyway, that's why I don't shop there. But Sephora's kind of if you want to check out a few fragrances, but they are limited. There are so many amazing fragrances. So here's the bottle. This is a tester, of course. I bought this. It's not sponsored. Very rarely have I worked with, I haven't worked with tons of companies. I get a lot of samples from companies, and companies have sent me bottles, but never like, I think Redolessence, I don't know how many companies he's worked with. He's got so many full bottles. So it's always cooler to be able to see the bottle. I know it's about the juice that's most important, but I always do think that the bottles are beautiful in a lot of these fragrances, even inexpensive ones. This is definitely no exception. You have kind of that swoop to the bottom. You get the Ferragamo logo and the F Black. This just says F by Ferragamo, but I believe this is the F Black, unless yeah, it says F Black on the listing. However, it gets a little confusing because when you're looking at this, it's the same bottle. This doesn't have the cap, of course. It's just a tester. Price in this guy is 24 bucks shipped, $23.90 to be exact. And whenever I get a new fragrance, this has been pretty hyped up by a lot of guys on YouTube. One of which is Jeremy Fragrance. And you know what? I get it. I get why this is so hyped up. Again, what I do in my YouTube videos for fragrances is I can't pinpoint every note. I'm going to tell you guys what I get out of it and try to make some comparisons. There are great tools out there like Fragrantica where you can kind of see what people have compared this to. And I always find that it really comes down to the person's nose. There are fragrances out there people have said, hey, it smells like this, it's inspired by this, or it's a clone of this, and you get it, and I'm like, I don't get that at all. So I'm going to give you guys, and here's the other thing when it comes to sampling fragrances. Sometimes, like, I smell different things. So when I first got this, the reason I got this was because it's listed as a big-time compliment getter. And the price is right? So it's a cheapie, but a goodie. And I will tell you, after wearing it for a couple days, I can confirm this is a fantastic fragrance. It's definitely one of my new favorites. Absolutely. There have been ones that I bought before that I get them and I'm like, okay, it's good, not bad, but they go into my cologne closet and I kind of forget about them. This is not one that I'll be forgetting about. This is definitely something I will replace once it's gone. It is fantastic. And so this one here, let me just first start off with the notes and I'll tell you guys what I get out of it. So in your top notes, and again, I know you guys have probably seen this before, but I want to give you guys my own my own opinion on it. And you guys, if you've been watching my fragrance reviews before, I also run Fragrant Juice with a PH. Although I don't put as much content on there, it is another channel that I run. Very small, starting to grow. I just don't put a lot of time into it. I need to because there are people who just like fragrances. So so check it out, subscribe. But anyway, with this, the reason I got this was one because it was a cheapie and a lot of people say it's great. But if you have been watching my other videos, I'm a big fan of oud and rose-based fragrances, and I like all fragrances, but I always get kind of intrigued when it comes to more of the exotic ones. One of my favorites that this has been compared to is La Nuit de l'Homme. That's another one by Jeremy Fragrance, not by Jeremy Fragrance, but one that he loves. Absolutely, it's one of his top 10, whatever it is. And my ex-girlfriend got that for me for Christmas. I smelled it a few times, and it was just very unique. And when you smell La Nuit de l'Homme, it is a unique fragrance. There's really nothing else where you say, oh, when you smell it, you just know it's La Nuit. Whereas other fragrances, sometimes you just smell people like, oh, it smells good. Kind of reminds me of this, but it's not indistinguishable. Now, that's not something that's going to be super unique. I mean, you can go into any Macy's or Sephora and find it, but it is a great fragrance. The only downside to it, it's kind of expensive. It's like, I think 80 bucks. I think she paid for that. So again, it's a great gift. I've almost gone through the whole bottle. It is something I definitely will replace. but this is pretty good as well. Now this has been compared, and what's cool about Fragrantica, it'll tell you what people have compared this to, and it'll give you some information as far as what people think and what it smells like. So there were 66 votes on this that, whoops, wrong listing, guys, sorry. So here's my fragrance reviews. So there's this one, maybe I'm looking at the wrong one. Hang on, let me go back here. I'm looking at wrong one, sorry guys. Salvatore Ferragamo, that was the, and this is where it gets confusing because now I gotta find it, so bear with me. Because they make this in a Pour Homme and in the black, and the bottle is exactly the same, but the writing for the F by Ferragamo even says F by Ferragamo. It's in red. So that's the Pour Homme. I have not smelled it. This one is the F Black. And that's the only way you know, because on the bottle it actually says Pour Homme. So it's very confusing because if you don't know, you might accidentally order the other one. So the F Black has the black cap, of course, same bottle, same everything, but right where it says F by Ferragamo is in the silver or gray, the other one's red. So with this fragrance, let me give you guys the notes. So in your top notes, you have lavender and apple, green apple to be exact. In your middle notes, you have black pepper and, sorry, you gotta kind of click back and forth here, coriander, and then your base notes, you have labdanum and tonka bean. And this has been compared to La Nuit de l'Homme by 46 votes, and also by 66 votes to the Pour Homme with the red the red F by Ferragamo. So I've never smelled that one. I can't tell you what the similarities are and the differences, but they probably are pretty similar. And the comparison here, they compare it to one of the let's see, they compared it to La Nuit de l'Homme. They compared it to K Natura. It's been compared to Ferra Black by Gianfranco Fur. I hope I'm saying that right. And then one Man by Avon. Again, 46 people, La Nuit de l'Homme. So here's the thing. When I first got this, that was my expectation. And when I first got it, I was a little disappointed because I didn't get that comparison at all. To me, it didn't smell anything like La Nuit de l'Homme. So if you're looking for something that smells like La Nuit de l'Homme, I'm sure there are other options out there. Check out La Nuit de l'Homme on Fragrantica. I don't think this smells like a clone of La Nuit de l'Homme. Like I have Aventus clones, AB Spirit by Lomani. I have Insurrection Pure. Those smell very, very close to when you smell them, you're like, yep, that's Aventus by Creed. But again, side by side, you might notice a slight difference, longevity, that kind of stuff. And even between batches, you're going to find differences, right, of the same brands, right? But, you know, with those, we know they're clones. They smell very similar. With this, I didn't get at all, when I first sprayed this, the La Nuit de l'Homme connection. It wasn't until the next day when I sprayed it again with a clean nose, haven't been wearing it, that I was like, wow, that actually does smell pretty similar in a way to La Nuit de l'Homme. That change happens though pretty quickly. So this stuff, I'm going to refresh myself here. And this stuff is absolutely amazing. I'll tell you right now, let me just make this comparison. Yeah, man, that is just, yeah. See, right now when I smell this, I kind of get a kind of a, and that's right now because tomorrow may be different. But what I get when I smell this right now, and I've felt this a few times, I've worn this already, is I get kind of a cross between La Nuit de l'Homme and Eternity. It's kind of like a hybrid, but much better, okay? Now, is it as good as La Nuit de l'Homme? I gotta say I like it just as much. There is a difference, and if we just compare the notes and what may be causing, at least me, to remind me of, because remember guys, when we see notes in here, unless we were really about this, in which I'm not, I just give you guys my everyday, normal, regular Joe review, but a lot of these guys that are really into fragrances like Jeremy Fragrance, and there's many other ones, if I forgot you, I apologize. I mean, not really, because I didn't do anything. But, you know, I mean, there's lots, my point is there's lots of guys I like to watch, and I didn't mention all of them. I just mentioned Red Alessandro's Jeremy Fragrance. Again, Red Alessandro is my favorite, but these guys kind of train their nose to know what a lavender smells like, or know what green apple smells like. And I know we smell those things in, you know, in our lives, but it's hard without having them right here and really kind of familiarizing your nose. That makes sense to these notes. Like tonka bean, I know I smelled it many different fragrances, but without smelling it individually and training my nose, I don't know if I'd be able to say, just smelling this without looking at the notes, yeah, I smell tonka bean. After looking at them, I can say, yeah, I kind of get that. One thing that is an easy note to get is a spicy quality and a lavender quality. And I definitely get this with both those fragrances. And that is a note in both the fragrances. So in the top notes on La Nuit de l'Homme, you have cardamom. In the middle notes, you have violet, bergamot, and I hate the way Fragrantica works. When you roll over one of the notes, you have to click the X to get rid of it. It's annoying. And Virginia cedar. The middle notes on this are coriander and black pepper. And that's why I think right when you spray this on, you do get a pretty big hit of that lavender. And that's going to die off a little bit on this. Now, I would say probably after 5 hours, this will become a skin scent where you'll still smell it, you'll still smell good, but it's definitely not going to be as strong. And as far as the other notes are concerned, from what I can tell just based on the notes here on Fragrantica, those are the only note, the lavender note, that both these fragrances share. And a lot of times, that's what we make our association with. Now, there is a spicy note to it. Now, unfortunately, when we look at something like La Nuit de l'Homme, it doesn't have black pepper in it. But when you smell that fragrance, it is very peppery. And the thing is with spices, like a lot of spices do have a peppery quality. They're just not black pepper. And so there are similarities between these. And like I said, with this particular fragrance in the top notes with La Nuit de l'Homme, you have now it's not I'm highlighting this thing. It's annoying. So annoying, guys. You have cardamom, but then in Ferragamo, you have coriander and black pepper. So again, those are spicy kind of notes that you're getting the same association. And I think that's a lot of times where we make these associations with, oh yeah, it does smell like La Nuit de l'Homme. And other times, master perfumers, they can duplicate other notes by layering other ingredients. So again, I'm not a professional perfumer by any means. I'm just giving you guys what I think about it and whether I think it's a great value and would I purchase it. And for the price, it's fantastic. And to me, like I said, it definitely has more of an overwhelming, it moves towards like Eternity for Men, that kind of scent. Again, I don't want you guys to say, oh, it doesn't smell like Eternity at all. I'm not saying it does, but it reminds me of a cross between La Nuit de l'Homme and Eternity. Now, I will say that as this changes, it definitely starts to change within, I'd say, about an hour. Again, doesn't die off. I'm more of a 7 spray guy, so I wear a lot. And to me, I never have anybody tell me, "Oh man, you too much." I mean, I've never had that happen. I just feel like a lot of times fragrances just don't really last on me. And I have the only fragrances that to me that really have become ones where sometimes you can apply too much are like Satin Mauve. That's a very overwhelming fragrance. One spray is all you need on that, otherwise it becomes very cloying. This is not one of them. I feel like you can really kind of not overdo it, but you can really underdo it with this one. Again, everybody's fragrance is different. Everybody's everybody's personalities are different. Everybody's personality is different, and not everybody's nose is different. So this may be very overwhelming to some people. To me, I never find that. I like to be able to smell it myself, but as you guys know, when you wear a fragrance, within an hour you can't smell anymore. It doesn't mean other people can't smell it. We kind of get used to it. But that's, I hope that kind of gave you guys my opinion of this fragrance. Overall, it's fantastic. Is it La Nuit de l'Homme? No, but I get the similarity. I get the comparison. It does have a very warm, spicy quality. Fantastic for the winter time and the fall. Although I always say you can wear fragrances whenever you want. But again, the other day I put on for the first time Bentley Intense, and it was a little overwhelming for me. I wasn't used to wearing that, and it's starting to get a little cool now. So we're at the right time of year. But I used to really douse myself in that, and I never really got that feeling that I was like a little bit overwhelmed by it. So again, we're all different, and I just feel like a lot of times, when we review fragrances, and I think that a lot of the fragrance guys will agree with me, is that sometimes you have to come back and keep re-reviewing it and keep wearing it to really get to know it. I just wanted to give you guys my initial thoughts on it, and I think it is absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong for $23. I'll put a link in the description from the seller where I got it from. They seem to be a huge eBay seller. Testers don't mean anything. It means you don't get a cap in a box. Who cares? It's fantastic. And I think, and I can almost guarantee, if you like La Nuit de l'Homme and maybe you don't want to spend the money for La Nuit de l'Homme, and you like it, you're gonna like this. This is fantastic. So guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the content. I hope I worded that the best I could. You know, it's raw, it's uncut, it's unedited, and I offer no apologies because you're getting a realness of me you're not gonna get with a lot of other people. So it's a great fragrance. I'm wearing it. I love it, and it's one that will definitely be replaced. So guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if I can answer any more questions, and subscribe to the channel, and have a good day.